Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, I just saw some footage out of Minnesota that was disturbing for me personally. Not nearly as disturbing, of course, as people getting shot and all that, but this is very disturbing just the same. ICE was taking a lady who was essentially trying to tell them in Spanish that her kids were left unattended in the house. And she was on the phone with someone. I guess the ICE agent at least had enough decency to allow her to make that phone call, but he had her by the arm and he wasn't letting her go. And she was trying to express to whoever she was on the phone with and to the agent, hey, my kids are left in the house, unattended. If you're going to take me somewhere, the kids are obviously left unsafe. This is a situation where I look at the government and I say, okay, in these circumstances, are you not responsible for the children in this situation? Are you not the cause of the neglect for whatever happens to those kids in that situation? Is it not your fault if you're going to take the parent away from the home and leave the children without anyone to watch them? You see what I'm saying? Because these type of circumstances, obviously, when we're looking at this, as we are looking at this at face value, let's assume she broke whatever rules this country has for immigrants, whatever. You know what I mean? Let's just say she's quote unquote illegal. And let's just say I align with that, even though I literally do not agree with any of this policy at all. But let's just say, in the event where that's the case, should there not be some process to assure that those kids are not left unattended? Should there not be a situation where you're asking ICE to assure one way or another that the kids are not left unattended? I just think that it's getting to a point where there's really no way to spin this for those who agree with this. For those who agree that people should be snatched off the street in the way that ICE is doing it, racially profiled or whatever, above all reproach, even if you agree with all that. Where do you who agree with this draw the line? And what would be your solution to save face in regards to your humanity? What would you say to those people who would essentially blame our government for leaving this particular lady's kids unattended indefinitely? I don't know how old those children were. Who knows if they can fend for themselves or not? Who knows? But given the fact that she would be taken by ICE agents, obviously shipped off somewhere to be gone for seemingly ever, is what you would expect in these situations. What is your solution? All of y'all who support this, what is your solution for that type of scenario? Is my curiosity. Or are you ready to take the mask off and just say you don't care because of the fact that they're brown people? Is essentially what ultimately the answer is, I'd imagine. That you could care less if the kids are left unsafe because she's an illegal alien from a Spanish-speaking country or a person of color, and you could give a damn about our kids. Because that's the actual answer. But what would be your politically correct answer? It's her fault because she didn't have her paperwork? Okay, fine. But the kids are unsafe, so what's the solution? Just leave them unsafe because it's her fault. Is that your solution? Say it's not your problem and then proceed to leave them to fend for themselves or starve or die in that place by themselves without their parent? Is that your solution? You're essentially saying because it's her fault, you don't have to provide a solution, so it's okay that those kids go through whatever they're about to go through by themselves without their parent? Like, I just want to know what y'all evil bastards gonna say, honestly. Because a lot of times it usually doesn't come in the form of solutions, but it more so comes in the fact that, well, this is just what comes with breaking the law. Which is obviously unacceptable if you have an ounce of humanity. Leaving kids unsafe because someone else broke a law and you want to hold them accountable for it is not just a happenstance. It's a choice that the state is making to leave the children unsafe. It's not something that has to happen. It's something that you chose to allow to take place. Just like she had a choice to go through whatever process and didn't, you have a choice to assure that her kids are not left unattended or arrest her. You have a choice. And so it's time to start holding our government and those who support this type of energy accountable for the choices that they make after people make decisions that they deem bad. That's what I want to normalize. If you can't provide a solution for the circumstances that someone else creates as the state, then in my eyes, you are equally responsible for what takes place from their choices. When you try to detain them from making poor choices and you leave children unsafe, when you accidentally kill somebody in pursuit of somebody who made a choice to run from you, you chose to chase them, and as a result, the environment for which the casualty took place ultimately took place. When you're chasing down some bad guy and in the crossfire a 6-year-old gets killed, you created the atmosphere, police officer, just like the person who engaged in the firefight with you. Because if you're not there doing whatever you're doing, it ain't nobody to shoot at. And so that's what I want to say. Like the state, the government tends to make certain decisions and they fall back on, well, if they didn't create the problem, there wouldn't be a need for a solution. Well, if you wouldn't create your half of the circumstance, there wouldn't be a need for any of this. If you handle yourself with a bit more responsibility, then we can mitigate or eliminate some of the possibilities of these things even taking place. And in this case, with this lady, this is a great example of where y'all could do so much better and choose not to. And Donald Trump, if anybody's responsible, it's you. Because you sent these individuals out here on a slave catcher Gestapo mission. So whatever casualties take place because of it, whatever circumstances take place because you want to be on this type of time, it's your fault. And the people behind you, the octopus who has its hand up your ass, because we know who that is. Those that worship the star and all the devilishness that come with it. That's y'all. That's your fault. Anything that takes place in this regard, I just assume is a sacrifice to your demonic, whoever the hell y'all say God is, and you know damn well it ain't the God we serve. You know it's not the God we serve. Whoever y'all praying to, I just assume it's a sacrifice. Any casualties or collateral damage, I just assume it's a part of your sacrifice. Because we know damn well what time you're on. Everybody who pays attention to you knows what time you're on. We're not confused by none of this. We don't think you're somebody you're not. It don't matter what kind of hats you wear or how many times you kiss the wall or whatever the hell y'all doing, bouncing all up and down, humping the floor, whatever the hell y'all evil bastards are doing. I know that you serve the devil. We know this. You run around saying that you're owed something, but actually you are who you say you want to harm. Which is a metaphor for how you ultimately operate spiritually anyway, harming yourself and others. But let's just assume that I don't know nothing about spirituality. Let's just assume I'm looking at my government like it's just them. Let's just assume everything is on its face value. Any child that's left in danger because of a circumstance created by our state or our government intending to pursue someone they deem as illegal is irresponsible losses on their part. And as a voting, tax-paying American, that is exactly what I am holding my government accountable for not allowing to happen. No kid should be left unattended because you want to arrest a parent. No child should be left unsafe because you wanted to pursue the parent. None of these type of situations are acceptable going forward. Whatever rhetoric y'all want to throw out there or whataboutisms that you want to throw out there in regards to that will not be considered acceptable anymore. That's what I want to say to y'all, man. Since y'all love to give us rhetoric to excuse evil behavior that you engage in, to avoid accountability. Since y'all like to do that type of stuff, I'm going to use this time to tell you that's not acceptable. And that's utterly unacceptable. And I want to tell everybody who thinks it's okay to do that you're going to be held accountable now. And we're going to be holding your feet to the fire. And citizens, taxpayers, onlookers, people that you're supposedly doing this to clean up the country for. Since y'all apparently getting rid of all of my neighbors to make me safer, even though I'm the only people who make me feel unsafe are the people you send out here to try to catch my neighbors. That's honestly true. You leave these people alone and we're pretty damn safe. Despite what rhetoric you use to excuse your behavior. At the end of the day, if you leave people alone, there ain't going to be too many problems. But I guess that's a metaphor for all the other circumstances y'all create. With y'all rhetoric and your paranoia and your greed and your selective humanity nonsense politics. And your need to control how people vote so that you can be the chosen puppet for the octopus with the star on his forehead. If you've been watching my previous videos, you know who I'm talking about. Even if you haven't, you should be able to put 2 and 2 together. Tired of this nonsense, man. Everybody, all of us are responsible for holding this entity up responsible going forward. We are the generation that understands what they've done. We're the generation that's being exposed all of what it is that they're doing. We're the ones that are supposed to find a way somehow to hold them accountable and or stop them. It's our responsibility, all of us who are alive today. And so as I say, it's on the government, quote unquote, to not leave children unattended. It's up to us to remove the irresponsible entity in power that would otherwise choose to allow them to be left unattended. Identify them properly and extract them swiftly. That is our responsibility. If we fail to do that, then I would suspect that our children would have us to blame for letting our dog get out of control and not training our dog properly. Because that's really what this is. There's too many people, and I'm going to say this with a whole lot of responsibility attached to my intentions. There are too many people who are onlooking and not enough people who are jumping into action. Far too many times I see onlookers outnumbering the attackers. And they sit there with their phone out, and I appreciate the footage. I really do. I think there's a world where the footage is all necessary. Every angle is necessary. But to let them sit on top of somebody and take their air away until they die, when the people who are onlooking outnumber those who are engaging in this behavior, at some point in time, we got to realize what our power is. There should be no reason why 70 people are standing around watching 4 people kill 1 person. There's no reason that should even be possible anymore. That onlookers mentality, that I don't want to break the rules mentality, that I'm going to save myself and not get involved mentality, that should be shunned going forward. That type of behavior. Hey, what's up, man? Pretty good, brother. You have a great one. All right. That type of behavior needs to be shown going forward. We need to start calling it out and identifying individuals who are cowardice in that regard, and those who won't contribute to saving somebody's life or protecting a child. Because at this point in time, it's very obvious that our government is breaking all the rules, and they're counting on us following all the rules and allowing them to do so. This is when we got to start acting like we care about one another. Acting like we care about the overall environment from which our Constitution is supposed to be still valid, for which they keep stomping all over every chance they get. If we're all following the rules and they're breaking all the rules, then guess what? The ones who end up getting broken is us. Bdf 44, thank you all for watching. I'm out.